Well, Earl Strickland, a perfect record so far, and the only world champion to successfully defend this event. You got to be happy with the way you're playing, Earl.
Well, I mean, once you get through this knockout stage, you still don't have to win. It's going to be a race to 9. Corner ball is flying in. If I get a Chinese Taipei player, I'll probably be out of here.
Well, listen, I know it's 9 days of grueling action, Earl, and you're on a bit of a fitness regime.
Well, I try to stay fit, but I don't think pool's a sport. There ain't no way this is a sport. Because one reason is because we're playing flimsy rules here. Corner balls going in like 99.9% of the time, and then if you don't make the corner ball, you make the one on the side. Jump sticks, phenolic tips, extensions on the cues. These things weren't a part of the game when we founded it. And the WPA is not scrutinizing those things. They scrutinize my fingers. They took those away from me. So I don't know what we're doing here. I want to break from the middle, move the rack up a little bit, make it very difficult. Then you can find some athleticism in the game, I think. The way we're playing right now, it's a very flimsy, clumsy game, not a sport.
Well, Earl, you take the title this year, buddy, and the last laugh will be yours.
I could care less, really. I probably should have won it last year. A lot of people don't even know, but I probably shouldn't even say this. They'll probably say that I'm complaining. But I was sick in the semifinals last year. I had a terrible flu. It hit me the day before I played Davis. I was turning green in that match, and I just didn't have nothing left. And no disrespect to Marsh. I mean, I was thinking about the bowler. No disrespect to Thorsten Holman. He played well, and he's a great world champion. But like I said, this side break has got to go. Everybody's cloned, you know. I think it's disgusting. That's the way that's the way I look at it.
Well, Earl, just make 2004 a year to remember.
Yeah. I can't wait till pool's a sport.
So you have it. Off Earl went. He's entered the arena now. And he's entered the arena fully tooled up. That's his opponent, Okumura. Dave, they met, as we mentioned, in the semi-finals when Earl won it, 2002. And he's a good player, Okumura.
Yeah, he's won the World Pool Championship in '94. Oh, and that's a pretty bad start.
We've got to mention that Earl has come into the arena fully tooled up. He's got his wraparound shades on. You'll see in a moment. He's wearing 2 gloves this time. He had a bag of toys with him. He's got 3 cues. He's got a Dennis the Menace T-shirt on. And what's he done there?
Okay, thank you.
He's played the 2 and the 1 ball still on the table.
Oh dear. He's obviously concentrating more on wearing the gloves and the wraparound shades than on the spread of the balls there.
Well, maybe with the yellow shades, he can't see the yellow balls.
Maybe it's filtered it out. Maybe that is exactly what has happened. Quite unbelievable.
It does happen occasionally. You really hope that it doesn't happen on television. But sometimes you just go a little bit ball blind, you know.
Hey, listen, ring your mates up. Tell them Earl's on the telly, because I think we're in for a bit of fun here. Jeremy Jones, Jim Weish in commentary.
3. Wow. Well, I can't believe that shot. I guess he tried to draw into the 9 there and just didn't catch the cue ball as sweet as he would have liked. But would you believe Strickland may yet come back to the table again in this one?
Strange first game, I'll tell you that. I hate to giggle, but it's pretty funny.
Just to let the folks at home know, my co-commentator here is the reigning U.S. Open champion. Probably as well versed and let you know what these players are thinking about as anybody.
You know, I'd have to say they're probably not. Neither one of them are thinking real well right now. But what a shot! It was a great hit.
Yeah, that one drew applause from Strickland as well. What a shot from Okumura. And he's going to have to bank this 5.
Yeah, these tables this bank is about 95%. Shouldn't have any problem here. He'll just roll it in slowly. I'll let the cue ball drift a little further than you'd like. You know, Jim. Anytime you have 6 feet between you and the object ball, it makes the shot quite a bit more difficult.
On any table.
Exactly.
Body movement in that one, but no danger. That 9 to the bottom of the corner pocket. And it's Takeshi Okumura that opens the account here. 1-0 over former world champion Earl Strickland.
Yeah, Jim, I haven't seen Okumura in quite some time, and I don't remember him playing with glasses before, do you?
No, it's the first time I've seen him. But they're a type of glasses that sit very high on the bridge of his nose. We'll have a look at him as this match progresses. But he hit that 9 awful sweet, considering he was running around the table to watch it.
He sure was. Yeah, those are specially made pool glasses that when you bend down on the ball, that
Second rack.
you don't catch
Earl
the rim,
Strickland to
the
break,
top of your
trailing
rim
by
of the
1
glasses.
rack to 0.
Cut break from Strickland here. He'd like that 2 to have got a little further past that side pocket. I don't know whether or not this is on.
No, it doesn't look offensive to me. He's going to have to find a safety.
This is a little bit of a gauging match, this one. You can measure the break a little bit. Both players probably feel like they're going to be back here again. So they're going to feel this table out, see the way that it plays, knowing they've both qualified.
Yeah, but I believe it's you know, it's a little bit of a test. You find out how the table plays, but you want to play well. You don't want to lose any confidence out there on that table.
There, a look at Okumura's glasses. They have no frames around them, so nothing to block his vision. Still, there would have had to have been an adjustment when he started using them. Those glasses, by contrast, Earl's waiting for the sun to come out.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I've seen him this tournament use the glasses. Has he used them before?
Yeah, if he has, I haven't seen him, Jeremy, I have to admit.
I think he's doing a little experimental. Since he's already qualified, he's going to see how he plays with the glasses on. That was a nice shot. Overran the red a little bit, the 3. I still think he's going to take it on. He's going to clip it in the lower left pocket. Run down for position on the 4.
Tougher shot than he would have liked, though.
Yeah, but he's a 9-ball player, so this should. I expect him to make this.
Well, that's not going to make life any easier. That's probably the worst result, apart from missing the 3 that Okumura could have had. Now, the problem not only in the difficulty of the 4 ball, but getting the cue ball all the way up the table and back down for the 9.
Yeah, I think that's an impossible shot to go for. I don't think he can beat the 7, cutting the 4 in. Yeah, I think you have to go cross side with this with a little safety. Try and draw the cue ball to the back rail where the 5 is.
Obviously, knowing that he couldn't get position, even if he did make that 4, opting for discretion. Really not much from which Earl Strickland can attack here either. So again, just containment, I think, in Earl's mind. Possibly just bump the 4 into the 5.
And run the cue ball back behind the 7, possibly. Both these guys were laughing a few minutes ago, and now it seems like it's the game has changed a little bit. They're getting a little more serious.
Well, that's a pretty good effort too from the Earl. He's gone off the bottom cushion and bumped the 4 into the safe area at the wrong end of the table for Okumura. Well, the only problem for Takeshi Okumura here is if he elects to take this on, he's really putting all his eggs in one basket, but the bank's certainly available. He's got a slightly bigger pocket with the 9 over that bottom left corner. But how does he get position to the 5?
Yeah, I don't think that lays very well. It's not a very natural angle to run the cue ball back for the 5 in any kind of way. And as difficult a shot as that is, anytime you're shooting a shot that's that difficult, you want to almost guarantee that you're going to end up with a shot on the next ball. It's just playing the percentages. He could clip the left edge of the 4, though, running the cue ball 3 rails back behind the 7. And even if he does leave Earl a shot, if he gets the cue ball to the back rail, Earl would have a pretty difficult shot to attack.
Well, the way he's queuing up at this, difficult to tell. It almost looks like
he's trying to cut the ball in and run the cue ball towards the 9.
Exactly.
Possibly get a safety if he misses. Wow.
Well, I can't believe he tried to bank that.
Yeah, that was a very low percentage shot.
I know one man that was happy he tried. Nicely onto the 5, 6, 7, and the 9 present no problems whatsoever.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a 1-1 match with Okumura breaking the balls in game 3.
It is. Strickland dishes up from the mistake by Takeshi Okumura, and 1-1 our score line here in Taipei. Okumura winning the lag, he will break off all the odd racks.
Rack 3, Takeshi Okumura to break, 1 rack each.
His first break, if you remember, he went straight into the side pocket, so he'll look to try and correct that. Keep that cue ball on the table, the first order of business.
Yeah, I think the right side is definitely the breaking side for the TV table. Even though I've seen guys make balls from both sides, I think the right side is breaking more consistent. You've done a lot of commentary on the matches here. What do you think about that, Jim?
Well, I haven't seen anybody break from the middle of the table. That wing ball is going in, I'd say, about 9 out of 10 breaks, if not more. So certainly it's just a matter of controlling that one. Here's an instance where Okumura's got a 1-4 combination. The only danger is he's got to slightly cut the 4. And it's going to be taking the cue ball away from the 1.
Yeah, and into the brown 7, and the 1's going to fall on the back rail. See, this is where the difference is between the final 64 and here they're playing what I would consider kind of a free match, a match to get used to the table. Here you could consider playing safe, you know, if you're in danger of being eliminated from the tournament, because it's going to be winter break in the final 64, and if you make any mistake, these type of players can get up and run 6, 7, 8 racks on you and knock you out of the event. Looks like he's electing to play safe anyway. Nice shot.
He's playing it close to the chest.
Yeah, I think Okumura, he doesn't fish too far from the shore, Jim. And this is a repeat match of the I believe 2001 U.S. Open finals. These two played an incredible match where Earl was victorious, but Okumura, he had a really nice tournament.
No
I
flash.
think that's the last time he's been in the U.S. Open too.
You know, Nick Varner a couple of years ago told me something that I thought was an unbelievable statistic. That he doesn't ever remember seeing Strickland lose in a final. And that's just phenomenal.
Yeah, he beat me in the first time I ever made it to a pro event final. He put it on me pretty good, 11-2 in Kansas City, and I don't think I've ever seen him lose in the final either. Well, we've just been informed by Johnny Archer that he's beat him in the finals before, but I'm sure it hasn't been too many times.
Just short of getting the hook on that one. So a long one for Okumura. And really, this is the most difficult ball he could face.
Yeah, all the balls are open nice, and I don't see any problem directing traffic with the cue ball. I think if he makes this ball, he should have no problem getting out. But he's kind of been moving on these long shots a little bit, so we'll see if he can stay still. Oh, nice shot.
Perfect angle now to run the cue ball around the cushions. Get back up for the 4, the pink 4 next.
Yeah, he just wants to make sure he stays off the rail so he can get from the 4 to the 6 pretty easily. The only problem he could have is if he shoots the 3 and comes 2 cushions falling on the 3rd cushion, kind of straight in on the 4.
Looks like he's still got a little bit of angle here that he can force this in and get the cue ball over same side of the table that he's cueing.
Shouldn't have much problem here. He's got to put a little bit more pace on this ball than he'd probably like, but he should be able to make this ball just come to the center of the table. And you'll notice, Jim, that most of the great players, they play the cue ball to the center of the table. I'd say 80% of the shots, because from there you can get anywhere on the table on your next shot. I mean, once you pocket a ball, you can from there you can move back and forth if you need to go back to the rail, or you can go 2 rails, you can go 3 rails, you can do a number of things from the center of the table.
Yeah, very different than playing snooker. In 9-ball, you're always looking for angle. On a snooker table, you're looking for full ball contacts. And this 9 for a 2-1 lead. Right into the center of the pocket. The former world champion, Okumura, out in front of another former world champion in Earl Strickland. 2-1 in his favor. Referee Michaela Tabb getting everything ready yet again.
And she does a wonderful job.
Trailing by 2
Michaela
racks to
does.
1.
She gets a lot of heat from the players and for different things, and takes it in stride, and still tries to listen to the players and respond to what their needs are.
She takes a lot of pride in her job too, and I'll tell you, I haven't seen her make many mistakes, if any. Even when it looks like it's a 50-50 call, 99.9% of the time, Michaela's been right on. Good break off from Earl, but again, a little tougher one than he would have liked to have seen.
Wow.
Well, what a great shot. I didn't think it went, Jeremy.
No, you couldn't put a playing card in between the 1 and the 3 as it went by. That was precision at its finest. I've been talking to Earl a little bit since he's been here. He's been running every day. He's taking this tournament very serious. You know, he wants to get that title again in his hands.
I had a pre-match interview with him, and he actually talked a little bit about working out and trying to get into a little bit of a health kick. At 43 years of age, I guess he doesn't want to give that edge up to the younger players.
No, Earl's in good shape. He had an operation last year that he had to recover from, and he's gotten himself back in good shape. You know, he's a tennis player and a golfer and runs quite a bit.
Straight on the 8, so just draw that cue ball back for the 9. He can make that cue ball sing as well as anybody.
He sure can.
4 games now in the books, and nothing to choose between these two. 2 apiece. Earl Strickland over Takeshi Okumura.
We're concentrating on the showdown of these former world champions, Earl Strickland against Takeshi Okumura. Let's head back to commentary right now.
You know, like I said earlier, I made my own bed the second day, losing 2 matches that I probably shouldn't have lost. And in that race to 5, you put a little more extra pressure on yourself, and you're playing incredible opponents. You can't afford to give anything away. And you can see that with all the great players that did get eliminated.
Very true.
And you're not half bad anyway, Jim, so I don't mind.
Well, that's very, very nice of you to say, Jeremy, but I've got a feeling if you had your druthers, you'd far rather be out there the other side of the camera.
Oh, yeah, I had good, great intentions coming over here to Taipei. I had a good feeling about it. And, it didn't work out, but I'll be back, and hopefully things will work out next time.
Well, a good break off for Okumura here. Sets the table now. He's nicely on the 1. 2, 3, 4, everything available. With a scoreline poised finally at 2 racks apiece, it's vital for him to maintain the initiative and hold serve with his break.
Yeah, he's just the problem here is just getting from the 2 to the 3. He's a little bit elevated over the 6, where he can't really hit right English on the cue ball. So he's got to shoot this with left, which makes it a little bit more difficult to control the cue ball, getting the proper angle on the 2 to get to the 3.
Very careful with his cueing. Right beside that green 6. That's about as well as he could have hit that one.
Yeah, he got just about all out of that shot he could. And he just has to draw the cue ball here, letting the cue ball go a little bit. I don't really see any other route. Do you, Jim?
Well, that 3 is awful close to the side pocket. So he's got to be a little careful.
Thing here, he wants to put a nice stroke on it where he doesn't run into the 8 with the cue ball.
That's what I had a feeling. He may just leave that cue ball a little short, Jeremy. A little tougher shot. And I guess that 3 ball is far enough past the side pocket. Only just, though.
Yeah, that surprised me a little bit there. I don't know if he was trying to play for the corner. I guess he was, but it still seems like he's having a little trouble. He's mishitting the cue ball a few times on his draw stroke. But on these tables, I expect him to make this at least 18 out of 20, 9 out of 10. And I did it to him, Jim.
And he did it to Earl. I don't know whether he can get through to this. His body English tells me he's left it for Strickland, but he overcut this. Jeremy, you said, though, he left it a little tougher than he should have.
Yeah, I think I would have brought the cue ball back to try and play the 3 in the side. You know, anytime that 3 ball's next to the corner of the point of the side pocket, it's almost like you get preoccupied worrying about scratching or playing the cue ball out instead of making the ball.
I don't know whether Earl can get through to this 3. He's taking a lot of time, so.
Well, he can see a piece of it, but I don't think he can play it.
He's jumping over the edge of the 8. Okumura gets a second look in at this one. You'd really have to expect him to take advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah, and in these guys' defense, they've made a few mistakes, but it's been a grueling 4 days trying to qualify, and both of them have done that. So I think they're just taking a breather here, trying to just get through this match and get on to tomorrow.
Yeah, speaking of tomorrow, one of the top Taiwanese stars, Ching-Chun Yang, he's going to be in action next, so stay glued to your TV sets. And if I'm not mistaken, Yang needs to win just 1 rack to qualify. There's been a lot of pressure on that young star. Big things expected from him. So get yourself your comfortable chair and pull it into the center of the room, because it's all happening here on your TV screens.
Yeah, and you would be amazed that at that 1 rack how difficult it is when that's all you need sometimes. The first year they had this event in Cardiff and we went to this format of qualifying. Kim Davenport from the USA, and it was a race to 7 at that time too, and Kim Davenport from the USA only needed 1 rack from Mika Immonen, or 2 racks rather, and it was 6-1 and before he ended up getting his 2nd rack to qualify, and he had opportunities to do it too. Just a lot of pressure when you know you have to do something and you need to get it done.
Just dolly this 8 into the side pocket again. Kill the cue ball with a little check. The 9 shouldn't pose any problems.
Yeah, but again, he's having trouble drawing the cue ball. He's ended up short quite a few times on a number of pretty simple shots. I think maybe a little fatigue setting in with Okumura. How old is Okumura? Is he 50 years old?
53.
53. Nice shot.
Good shot on the 9. Helps Okumura once again establish that 1 rack lead at 3-2 over Earl Strickland. It's the 2004 Taiwan World Pool Championship, and we're lighting it up here at the World Trade Center. The event ends.
Big day at the World Championship. This is the situation. The players in yellow are through on Judgment Day. The others have to wait. Racks 1 is all important. It goes racks 1, racks lost. That's Group 1. Group 2, confirmation of some big guns through Dave Knight, including Tony Drago.
Yeah, that's great news for Tony, isn't it?
Rack 6.
Group 3, Earl Strickland,
to break,
100%
tailing by 3
record,
racks to
but
2.
it's tight. That one could go down to number of racks won.
Uzel, the Englishman, that's nice to see Uzel playing so well in his second World Championship.
Corteza, good week so far for him. Yang, though, next matchup, if he wins 1 rack, he will qualify for the knockout stages. Daryl Peach will go out, which will be heartbreak for him.
Absolutely. I mean, Peach has been playing really well, and it's a real shame. I mean, he'll
next
be
one,
crossing his fingers.
Group 5, how tight is that?
Very, very close.
Imran Majid in there as well. This is confirmed, Group 6, Mika Immonen, 6 wins out of 6. Very, very good week so far for Mika Immonen. Disappointment for Cliff Thorburn, though.
True. Good to see Valentine, the Scotsman, get through. Very nice.
Group 7, Bustamante topping that group. Arcade in second position, but again, 1 or 2 things yet to be sorted in Group 7.
Still a little bit open there, isn't it?
Judgment Day, the World Pool Championship. Rico Dix is through. Basovic and Pagalayan also through as well. But could be a little bit of a battle for that 4th position.
Yeah.
Fu and Su head to head.
Exactly. Those are the 2 contenders there.
Pagalayan will be playing Fu. And, well, Pagalayan already through. Let's hope he's concentrating 100%. These 2 already through. Strickland and Okumura. Earl of Pearl came out with his 2 gloves on. Wraparound shades. Didn't seem to faze Okumura, though, who's playing very, very well.
Takeshi Okumura has taken a lot of time on this one. It's a long, difficult one that confronts him.
Yeah, I don't think he has a clean look to make the ball, but he's weighing his options if he wants to try and go rail first to make it, or kick at the ball in some form to play a safety back and not leave Earl with a run out.
Yeah, I think the reason, if he does refuse it, Jeremy, I think it's going to be because he'd have to slow roll it, and from this distance,
Right.
far too stern a test of cueing.
Foul shot, ball in hand.
In hindsight, he probably wishes he'd have taken it on now. He can't believe that result.
I think that was a little unfortunate. I think he was really trying to play the 1 back down table and run the cue ball back. He had a lot of balls for cover. You notice where he put the 1 on the back rail. If he doesn't collide off the 5 and go in the hole, he's going to leave Earl with a tough shot or maybe no shot. I don't see many problems here, Jim. These are kind of what we call connected dots. The 3's pretty in line for the 4, the 4 to the 5, and so on. And once again, I've jinxed the player at the table.
Earl doesn't seem too bothered, though. He's yet to taste defeat in this year's event. A lot of people wondering if the former world champion and the only player to successfully defend a world title. He did that in 1990-91. He's going to be the last man when all the smoke clears.
Well, I know Earl, if he gets to that race of 17, the shape he is in, and he'll be comfortable in the finals. And I think most of the guys will be comfortable, but if it happens to be a guy that hasn't been in the final of a major title like that up against Earl, I think he'll have a big edge.
I know Earl's odds have gone down considerably. The bookmaker Stan James took him down, I think, about 20 to 1 at the start, and went down to about 10 to 1 now. So they think he's going to do the business. That looks like a good effort from Okumura.
Yeah, that worked out.
Okay, Earl.
There's no camaraderie.
Mind you, if you like Strickland, 10-1, still not bad odds, Jeremy, are they?
No, it sure isn't. And then, you know, knowing that he's through the final 64 and he's going to be a high seed in the event.
You can see Earl doesn't have a clear path through to that 3. And I don't think he can get it off that left-hand side cushion to try and pocket the 3.
No, but can he squeeze the cue ball in between the 4-5 and stop the cue ball hitting the 3 and bank the 3 around table, hitting the side cushion? If that's on, that's definitely the shot. He must not be able to do that because he's going to try and hit it full. Oh, wow.
That'll work.
Sure will.
And a very knowledgeable crowd here applaud. That's something I've noticed here too all week.
Oh yeah, it's one of the top sports here in Taiwan. 9-ball is in pool, period. There's a pool room on every corner. Bet they've been looking for this event all year. They've been salivating at the mouth, waiting for all these top players from around the world to come in. And they start young around here. If you look in the crowd, most of the fans are you know, teenagers, 20 years old.
Foul shot, ball
Not
in
one of
hand.
Okumura's better efforts there. Hit that way too thin. Not only did he lose the cue ball, but there was no way he intended to put that 3 over the pocket. Another look at it. He's intending a thicker contact on that 3. Having said that, cue ball flicked the 7. And that's what took it into the side pocket.
Earl's got a little out of line here. It shouldn't be a problem, but wanted to be a little more straight on this 4 on the side, but he'll just roll up. He's gone to the end rail.
I think this is a practice session for him, the way that he's cueing.
Yeah, he likes to let his stroke out.
Between them. How many times have we said that? 6 racks give us nothing to choose between these two. 3-3, and it's going to be Okumura breaking off in rack number 7.
Have you got to hit any balls on these new Brunswick Metros, Jim?
No, I haven't had a chance yet, Jeremy. It looked like they play pretty nice.
Yeah, they play real nice.
Earl Strickland thinks they play pretty nice too, watching that 9 go down.
I like the design of the wide oval side rails. It's kind of neat to look at.
Over the
Rack
shoulder
7.
of Earl Strickland.
Takeshi Okumura to break. 3 racks each.
All the fans see Okumura coming to the table now to break off. Possibility of 9 racks in this match, and we're going to number 7. The only guarantee is there'll be an 8th. Lost the cue ball.
Yeah, and a lot of the guys are trying that cut break, and I played a few matches on this table, and I don't think that's a necessary break anymore like it used to be. I think that if you hit them head on, you control the cue ball so much better, and you're still going to make the wing ball 90% of the time and get the same results on where the 1's traveling. I think that cut break, you lose that cue ball to the bottom rail, you're going to end up suffering in the long run.
He's going to go with this off the side cushion. He almost looks like just missing that 3. He might well make the 1 ball here.
Yeah, there's not really much of a push out other than rolling the cue ball to another kick shot. So I think he's going to be aggressive here. You know, all these top players, they don't want to let their opponent to the table.
Well, that's certainly what he's looking at. He's just measuring it up now. looks like he's holding his fingers the width of the ball. This is a new system for sighting.
Yeah, this is the Jimmy Reed system. You know, great player Jimmy Reed, U.S. Open champion, world champion. He has a system where you take the width between the rail and the ball, and you measure that out from the rail to the outside of the table, and you shoot to that point. And actually, quite a few players use that system.
Including world champions.
That's right.
And if he keeps knocking those in, there's going to be a few more players using that system with Jimmy Reed. Watch it. Never struck that any better.
That was nothing but net.
Slightly hampered cueing where that white is finished over the 9. But that was a great effort on the 1 from Okumura, and he wants to carry it through to the finish line.
It's not too often you get to beat a great player like Earl Strickland, so you never know. You know, this tournament, these guys could meet again later in the event, so that could weigh on both of their minds who wins this match.
No, we talked about that in the Reyes-Tony Drago match. You never know who you're going to run into in the knockout stages, so it's nice to set the tone. No problems here. The 4, 5, 7 to the 8. If Okumura doesn't go 4-3 in front, he's going to have no one to blame but himself.
That's right. I'm not going to say anything because every time I open my mouth, they miss, and I want the fans at home to see the best pool they can.
Straighter than he would have liked, but it's not going to pose any problems. He'll just have to play the 8 to the bottom left instead.
Yeah, he just has to stay above the 8 so he has a natural angle to come up for the 9. So who do you like to win the event, Jim? Are there anybody that you've really seen that that you might have to sink a few dollars on?
Spoken like a man that knows I've sunk a few dollars. Fong Peng Chao seems to have handled the pressure very well here, Jeremy. It's not always easy playing in front of your hometown crowd.
Yeah, I think they got the mojo going for Mr. Chao.
Whoa, that one certainly wiped its feet before departing the playing surface. Thankfully for Takeshi Okumura, though, he enjoys a 4-3 lead over Earl Strickland. And a great shot on the 1 helped him take this rack apart. Jeremy and I just having a little chat there. We're waiting for Michaela to get things ready, and both in agreement that Francisco Bustamante is another name to watch
Strickland
for.
to break, trailing by 4 racks.
Yeah, I've been
to
talking
3.
to Bustamante every day, and he's just going about his business. He's been practicing a lot at late hours of the night where most guys are going in, turning in, you know, and he's come close a couple times to winning this event. Played really well to get beat, and you know, he's due. He hasn't really won the super major title. We have about 3 or 4 in the world that we have, and being the U.S. Open and the BCA and now the World Championships.
Well, few people will forget the scene in Cardiff only a couple years ago when this man defeated Bustamante in the final and went right up to the middle of the table, jumped up, cue above his head, and celebrated in a way that none of us will forget. Now he's left a long straight 3 for Okumura with no positional values whatsoever to the 4.
Yeah.
Missed the push out. So Okumura, if he doesn't fancy this long 3, he can give it back to Earl.
Well, it's kind of hard to give it back. Reason being is that on the TV table here, I don't expect either player to miss this ball, and he's going to just shoot. Either one of them, I would suspect, would shoot this ball in and follow down for the bank on the 4. Be hard for me to give this shot back to Earl Strickland. I know that. Fooled you, fooled me too.
The body language is almost telling Okumura to turn it back to Strickland. I liked him before he got up. I don't like him making the ball now.
We made them both.
Foul shot, ball in hand.
Just something about him getting up, Jeremy. I saw nothing positive there.
Yeah, well, we always say in the States, think long, think wrong. So.
And only the generosity of that corner pocket accepted the 3.
Right.
There's been a number of occasions Earl Strickland has come to the table with a few balls remaining with cue ball in hand in this match.
Yeah, and he only shot at the wrong ball once, so that's good.
He's got that going for him.
Yeah, and I'm a good friend with Earl, so I'm gonna have to kid him a little bit later about that. I don't want him to think I'm needling him or anything.
Well, feel free to do that, Jeremy, if he wins this match. If he doesn't, you might want to kid him with a helmet on.
Oh, Earl, he's harmless.
This 9. To mean we're going to be treated to just 1 rack to decide this match. Earl Strickland 4, Takeshi Okumura 4. 1 to decide it here in Taipei.
Okumura against Strickland. 4 apiece. Hill. Let's head back to commentary and see who comes out on top.
Close.
Don't walk around the table too quickly, or that cue ball may fall into that side pocket. Very close to going in off there for Okumura. As it is, he's got a shot at the 1.
I don't know. Can he shoot the 1 in and run into the 2? Is that on, Jim?
I think he's looking at it, isn't he?
I don't know. It might be a bit thin. Unless he elevates the cue and draws it in there. That makes the shot quite a bit more difficult.
Or even playing it with a bit more speed.
You might be able to make it deflect into the 2. But then you're losing the 2 ball a little bit more. The 2 has a subject to go anywhere, you know, somewhere you can't predict.
Added pressure on this one. Bragging rights at stake.
Yeah, and gaining some confidence for the elimination rounds.
Yeah, he played it at speed. Now he needs to be just a little lucky. Needs that cue ball to run. If he goes at this one, he's going to be attacking it off the side cushion. That was the danger, Jeremy.
Yeah, not being able to predict what's going to happen with the cue ball and the 2. And actually hitting that hard would have been unfortunate, but he could have actually come off the 2 and scratched in the lower left-hand corner. There were a lot of things you couldn't predict, but I think he'll do his little measurement system here and go to the rail first and pocket this too well.
Jimmy Reed would be proud. And this one looks like it's a little further from the corner pocket, so considerably more difficult.
Yeah, and it's not really a natural path to get to the pink 4. I think if he makes this, his cue ball will probably run into the brown 7. That's the problem with this shot.
No time for mistakes right now.
No, it's now or never, Jim.
Your next mistake will almost surely be your last. Well, he forgot to give it the
Shot,
measurement.
ball in hand.
He sure
Forgot to
did.
go over and give it the old Jimmy Reed thumb 4-finger measurement.
Yeah, and Okumura, I think he was worried about running to the 7 if he hits the ball thicker. He wanted to cut it a little thinner and let the cue ball run between the 7-9.
One good positional shot here from the 2 to the pink 4. Earl just taking a little bit more care because that is the shot from which a win could be matured.
Yeah, he's just going to draw underneath the 8 ball. He's caught a piece of the 8. Well, that's just not keeping your concentration for Earl. He shouldn't be this far away from the pink 4. He hit that well.
If the game is about self-belief, I think Strickland would never be beat.
And Johnny Archer and I were talking about this earlier. When Earl is of sound mind, as we'd say, he's almost impossible to beat. I mean, when he's concentrating on the game instead of all the other variables around the game, he's so tough. The stroke of his gets longer and longer.
So does the amount of time the opponent spends in his chair. Just willing that cue ball off that cushion. The long 8, top left.
With speed. I knew that was coming.
So the undefeated record remains intact here in Taipei for 2004. The Pearl, a 5-4 winner over former world champion Takeshi Okumura.